let's talk U-joints and where you will find them. So these are your U-joints. We've got the cross. Inside that cross, you have bearings, which are these little guys. These are called needle bearings, and they look like this on the inside. Now, typically when your U-joint wears out, these things fall out, and then you get a little bit of clunking sounds. You get the shudder when you accelerate at low speeds. It's not so bad unless it gets really, really bad. And typically, this is as complicated as these things get. You'll find them all over your vehicle. This is a drive shaft for a transmission off of a Jeep. As you can see, it articulates in all sorts of angles. There's different versions of these U-joints too. You can get hollow and solid core. I would recommend going with the solid, especially for 4x4 applications and or racing applications, because you'll just rip them apart otherwise. This here is off of a steering box, I believe, but same ideas. So you'll find these in steering boxes, CV shafts, drive shafts, pretty much everything has a U-joint. And I had to diagnose one of these things a while back for one of my neighbors. His daughter's Mustang was shuddering anything above 60 kilometers. As soon as I got in the car, I knew right away. I could just feel it. And we went above 60 kilometers and the whole car would vibrate. And then we let off the gas and I was like, oh, it's fine. So I was like, yep, U-joint. So it's a $20 part, if not maybe a little more. Very simple to fix too. All you have to do is take out this little C-clip by squishing it with needle nose pliers. Pops out. Do that for this side as well. And at that point you can pop these out, and then you can take out the U-joint. Some of them, the more expensive ones, come with the grease fitting, so that's what you have right there. And again, if these things ever break apart, they're easy to fix. You might have a couple parts on the highway flying about, but pretty well they're not really that destructive, and you know a long time before they go, because it takes a lot for these things. On my truck, I had these missing, the U-joint was still attached because I caught on to this side, and it didn't damage the yoke, but you could feel it in the truck, and I drove it like that for about 5,000 kilometers until I had a chance to take them out and fix them. So, and they were well worn. Inside here, which was still in, on one of them, it was ovaled from all the chatter. But again, these things are very easy to fix. So on my big rusted truck, you'll find a U-joint there, which is the drive shaft, and you'll find another one at the end of the drive shaft for the differential. Now, if you look at the front of this, you will find another universal joint, and you will also find it where the 4x4 for the other drive shafts on that side. Look under the hood, you will see the steering box also has a U-joint. Sorry about the cobwebs. Then again, when you go to a rear-wheel drive vehicle, you will find them as well. Let's check out the Trans Am. Can we see it? Ground's a little wet. That's the transmission portion. No, we can't see it. So the same thing will be. This car will have it too. This exhaust just hangs down really low, which I don't like. But this one will have one by the transmission and one by the differential, just like my truck. My mom's truck has what you call a CV shaft, and in that little boot there will be a U-joint, a universal joint, which is covered in grease and then obviously held in place by the rubber. And is there another one that I can see? No, nothing here. Okay, sorry, I just haven't had a chance to take a look underneath this thing yet, but that's a typical CV shaft setup. And then there will be two universals. So if you look over here, there's another universal there. and this just pops out. You might lose like a liter of tranny fluid, but that's about it. And you just obviously top it off, put the new one back in. Well, put the new one back in because they just plug and play, and then you just top off the fluid again. Very simple. Just looking at my my marquee, and like I said, you have this. Just is very similar setup to the Trans Am, and you have one right after the transmission, which is where the yoke is, and then the drive shaft goes all the way back to the differential, which we cannot see. There you go, and then you'll see the differential there. Coming out. So that both of these will have universal joints. Thanks for watching.